कर दया अपनार बोले। The only desire we have is to always serve the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, life after life, prati janme. The secret of bhakti or the secret of pleasing Krishna is to please his devotees. So let us all pray to Srila Prabhupada that he always keeps us engaged in his service and thereby giving us the highest perfection of life, Krishna Prema. हे बर करुणा कर वैष्णव गोसाई। हे बर पतित पावन तुम बिन के होना। निकटे गिले आपे दूर जाए। हे मन दयाल प्रभु के बहुत परच हये पश्चाते पावन। गंगर दर्शने पवित्र कर तुम्हार गो। हरिस्थाने अपराधे हरे हरि नाम। हरिस्थाने तुम स्थाने अपराधे नहीं परित्राण। तुम्हार हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम। तुम्हार गोविंद कहे न मोरा वैष्णव परा। प्रति जन्म करी आशा चरणे रघुली। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज कचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद्भय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शिल प्रभुपाद की। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome once again and thank you very much for sparing your valuable time to come to temple to hear about Lord Nrsimhadev. Srila Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamritam, he says that three forms of the Lord are called as Para Avastha. Para Avastha means we can say very important or three most prominent forms of the Lord. And he says one is Krishna, second is Rama, and third is Narsimha. So these three, as per Rupa Goswami, are Para Avastha or the most prominent forms of the Supreme Lord. And today we are going to discuss about Lord Nrsimhadev. We'll begin the discussion about Lord Nrsimhadev, and we have 3 days. And I'm not sure in 3 days Lord Nrsimhadev will appear or no. That will depend on Lord Nrsimha. We will speak about him, and it is up to him if he wants to appear. Maybe on Narsingh Chaturdashi we will complete the story. If we don't complete, we'll keep it for next year. So Lord Nrsimha will appear next year then. So Lord Nrsimhadev's story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, and also in Narsingha Purana. The descriptions have slight variations or slight differences are there in the narration of the story in Narsingha Purana and in Srimad Bhagavatam. We will mostly speak from Srimad Bhagavatam and wherever needed we will also have the reference from Narsingha Purana. Today we are going to discuss on the background of Lord Nrsimha's appearance. Tomorrow we will discuss on the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, and then on 3rd day, that is Narsimha Chaturdashi, we will try that Lord Nrsimhadev appears to kill Hiranyakashipu. So the story begins in the 7th canto from 1st chapter itself. Srimad Bhagavatam has 335 chapters, 18,000 verses. And out of that 7th canto has only 15 chapters. And these 15 chapters are divided into 2 parts. The first 10 chapters describe pure devotional service through the story of Prahlad and Narsimha. And last 5 chapters, they describe bhakti, but that bhakti is called Mishra Bhakti, mixed devotional service. That is not pure devotional service. Well, when Narad Muni is describing about the different ashramas and how the brahmachari should be, how the sannyasis should be, how the grahastha should be. But the first 10 chapters, just imagine in the whole 7th canto there are only 15 chapters, and out of which 10 chapters are given for this pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev. So how important it is. So the story begins, what happens in the 6th canto, Parikshit Maharaj, he heard about Vritrasura and Indra, the story of Vritrasura and Indra. I hope you have heard these names, right? Otherwise I'll have to go to that story and then I will not be able to come to Nrsimhadev. So Vritrasura and Indra story, where it seemed that Lord favored Indra. So then, being a devotee of the Lord, Parikshit could not take it. And Parikshit, although he was convinced that Lord cannot be partial, he is always impartial. He cannot favor one, because for him, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshasti na priyaha. I am equal to everyone. No one is very dear to me and I don't envy anyone. So when everyone is equal to you, why did you favor Indra and you got Vritrasur killed? Although Vritrasur also was a devotee. Vritrasur also was a devotee, but Lord made sure that he is killed. So then Parikshit thought that in future people will blame the Lord, saying that he is partial. He is not the father, because it is said that he is father of everyone. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that I am the supreme father. Sarva yoni shukaunteya murtaya sambhavantiva tasam brahma mahad yonir aham bij pradapita. He said, I am the father, seed-giving father for everyone. And mind you, he is not saying, I am the seed-giving father only for Hindus, only for Christians, only for Muslims, only for Americans, only for British. He says, Sarva yonishu, for everyone. I am the seed-giving father. So when you are a father, then you should treat everyone equally. So Parikshit wanted that people should not blame. So he asked a question in the beginning of the 7th canto. After hearing that pastime, he asked a question to Shukadeva Goswami, that it seems that Lord is partial. I know he is not. I am fully convinced he is not partial. But it seems he is partial. People side someone or favor someone for few reasons. Number 1, getting some benefit. Number 2, out of fear. Number 3, out of envy. Right? So if you envy someone, you will favor his enemy. Or if you are fearful of someone, you may favor him. Or if you are getting some benefit. So Parikshit said, if we speak about the Lord, what benefit can he expect by siding Indra? By favoring Indra? What benefit for the Lord? He is the master of the universe. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Thousands and thousands of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. What benefit can he expect from an ordinary demigod, Indra? So by that he was rejecting that reason, that cannot be the reason for the Lord to be favorable to Indra. And then he said, fear? That fear personified is fearful of Krishna. Kunti Maharani says this in her prayers. When Kunti Maharani was offering prayers to Krishna, she remembered the pastime of Damodar. When he was bound by Yashoda, she was there on that day. She happened to be in Vraja that day and she witnessed that pastime. So when she witnessed, during her prayer she remembered, and then she says, Gopya dade tvai kritagasidam tavat yate dashashru kalilanjana sambhramaksham. She's saying, Oh Krishna, I remember seeing you running from Yashoda. Yashoda was running behind you and you were running. And you had tears in your eyes. She said, you had tears in your eyes. And then she said, Yad vibheti swayam bhayam. The fear personified is fearful of you and you were afraid of Yashoda. She was running behind you with a stick. Gopya dade tvai kritagasi damatavad, and she tied you. And what happened? When she tied you, you were crying. Your tears in your eyes. So she's saying that's very astonishing. I don't understand how can it be possible. So fear cannot be a factor for Krishna to favor someone. Benefit cannot be a factor. And envy? How can Krishna envy someone? He is the Supreme Lord. When we take up a body, material body, the body which we have, this body has attachment and envy. So attachment is there, and due to attachment we have envy. But Krishna doesn't have a body like us. How can he will have envy in him? So Parikshit Maharaj in a way rejected that I cannot understand, I cannot accept that Krishna sided Indra because he was getting some benefit, because he was fearful, because he was envious. But still it seems that he sided, he favored. He made sure that Vritrasura is killed. So he said, please, let me know how is it possible. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says one should have clear distinction between material and spiritual. So because you are seeing the Lord from a material point of view, but Lord is not. So one should be very careful about the consciousness, whether our consciousness is material or spiritual. If your consciousness is material, what are the symptoms? The symptoms of material consciousness is that I will live for myself. I am the center of everything. That is material consciousness. Spiritual consciousness, Krishna is the center of everything. Krishna is the center of my life also. That is spiritual consciousness. So material consciousness, generally people think, why people do not come to bhakti? Why they are not able to take spiritual life strongly? Number one reason, they are very much attached to material things. And they feel that the spiritual consciousness, developing spirituality is actually, it's about escaping the world. Anytime people write, right, they say, you're escapist. Or you're crazy. Prabhupada wrote an essay, Who's Crazy? How many of you have read that essay? Any of you? Prabhupada wrote himself, Who is Crazy? So in that he writes, and people are calling us crazy and we know who's crazy. So you should read that essay. So it is not about spiritual life, spiritual consciousness is not about escaping the world. It is actually about embracing the world in a more profound and meaningful ways. That is spiritual consciousness. So Prabhupada says that one should be very clear about the distinction, because once you develop spiritual consciousness, you go beyond just enjoyment. What are the symptoms of spiritual consciousness, or what are the benefits of following spirituality? Number one is love. Love which we all are seeking. We are seeking love through money. We are seeking love through power. We are seeking love through some other thing. But actually we are seeking love and we do not know where exactly to seek. The spiritual consciousness brings us to the platform of real love. It also brings us to the platform of fearlessness, peace, unity. We are talking of universal brotherhood. The whole world wants that, right? But then it's not happening. Why? The consciousness is material. If you develop a spiritual consciousness, what is a spiritual consciousness? Krishna is the center. He is the father of everyone. Then where will we fight? Where there is a question of fighting, my God is better than your God. It's only one God, Krishna. He is the father of everyone. So real brotherhood, universal brotherhood can come if we develop spiritual consciousness. Real unity and peace can come if we develop spiritual consciousness. So when this question was asked to Sukadeva Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami was very happy, because now he will get a chance to glorify Krishna. Sadhu prishtam maharaja harer charitam adbhutam. He said, Sadhu prishtam. Wonderful question. Thank you. He was so happy. See, if the question is good, then the person who's speaking, he feels so happy. Why? Because now I'm going to glorify Krishna. So he says, Sadhu prishtam maharaja hare charitam adbhutam. Hare, I'm going to describe the wonderful adbhutam character, pastimes of Hari, of Krishna. Prabhupada writes in that purport, very nice thing. Prabhupada says, whenever you have the opportunity to hear about Krishna, take it. Don't give it up. Whenever you have opportunity. Actually, why are we so attached to this world? Why are we so attached to all other things? Because we have heard a lot from our childhood. In school, in college, in universities, we heard, earn money, you will be happy, right? Take a position, you will be happy. Become a CEO of a company, you will be happy. We have heard this. And that is why that is there in our mind. And devotees are trying to remove it, but it doesn't go out, right? So powerful. Because from childhood, what have we been taught? We are taught this only. That you have to be powerful, you have to earn money, otherwise, no point. So all our education, all our learnings in our college or universities is based on how you will earn money. But that's not education. Education comes from a Latin word educare, which means to bring out. That is the meaning of education. So what are we bringing out? There's nothing. So real meaning of education is to bring out that love for the Lord, to bring out that devotion, to bring out that surrender to the Lord. That is education. So that is why Prabhupada is saying, whenever you have the opportunity to hear, do not give it up, take it up, take it. Why? Because when you hear about Krishna, what is the effect of Krishna Katha? Now we are going to hear Krishna Katha, Narsimha Katha. Let's see what is the effect. The first effect is, if you constantly hearing Krishna Katha, then very important principle, never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna, is fulfilled. Because you're always hearing about Krishna and you'll remember Krishna. So that is the first effect of hearing Krishna Katha. It is said that all other rules and regulations given in entire Vedic literature are subservient to this one rule. Smartavya satatam Krishnam vismartavya na jatuchit. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's all. If you can do this, you don't need any other rule and regulation. So when you hear constantly, this one is fulfilled. Second, it helps us to cultivate knowledge. You see, devotion should be based on knowledge, not on sentiments. Many times people just do devotional service. Okay, somebody told, come, so we came. Okay, we liked it. It was very nice. I had tears in my eyes. And that's why I'll continue for some time, and when the tears stop, I will not worship Krishna. Yeah. Sentiments. Bhakti, devotion should be based on knowledge. Why are you worshipping Krishna? Why are you coming to temple? Who is Krishna? So when you have this knowledge, so constant hearing cultivates knowledge, which is very important for us to progress in devotional service. It also attracts Krishna in our heart. Constant hearing of Krishna Katha. Just you go on hearing and Krishna will be there. See, many times we try to know that what is the importance of human life. And we hear so many things, right? Importance of human lives. We have a highly developed brain. We have highly developed intelligence. We can make missiles, but the dog cannot make a missile. So we are better than dogs or whatever, right? What is the real importance of human life? Or why it is so rare? Human form is considered to be very rare form. Durlabham manusham deho dehina shanabhanguraha tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priya darshanam. Nimi Maharaj says this in Srimad Bhagavatam. Durlabham manusham deho. Very rare. So what is the rarity? What is the speciality of human life? You can capture Krishna in your heart. That is the rarity. Not that you can make a missile. Because no other form gives you this opportunity. In general, Krishna can go in any form, that is different, but in general. So by constant hearing, Krishna comes into our heart. That is, we should say, the purpose of human life. And when Krishna comes, what happens? The love develops. So that is why Prabhupada is saying you should, whenever you have the opportunity, you should hear. So now, Shukdev Goswami starts speaking. And he has to answer the question. He asks, how is it that Lord is partial? I see that it seems that he is partial. So please tell me. So then Shukadeva Goswami speaks about the Supreme Lord, and while speaking and giving in two parts. One, he gives a philosophical answer, and second, he gives a pastime of Lord Narsingadev. So that's how the story of Narsingadev starts. So he gives the answer that Lord is beyond this material world. When you talk of envy, when you talk of favoring someone, this is material consciousness. Why do you favor? Because he's my friend, he's my enemy. Friend and enemy is based on what? Based on sense gratification. If you can help me in my sense gratification, you are my friend. And if you cannot help me, then you are my enemy. That's all. But Krishna, Supreme Lord, is beyond all this. He has no friend and enemy. Whom will he envy? So Shukadeva Goswami explains that he is Nirguna. Nirguna doesn't mean he doesn't have a form, doesn't have qualities. Nirguna means he is beyond material qualities. He doesn't have any material, a tinge of material qualities not there in Krishna. So he says he is Nirguna and he is never partial. So why he seems, he said, due to imperfect vision. It is not that he is partial, it is that your vision is imperfect and you are seeing him as partial. Otherwise, he is equal to everyone. Actually, we impose material qualities on Krishna. We impose material laws on Krishna. Oh, why Krishna did this? Why did he marry 16,108 wives? Right? I know nobody thinks now because they know one is enough for them, so nobody thinks why 16,108. But yes, still people ask this question, why Krishna had to marry? Was he a lusty person? 16,108 wives. What was he doing with them? Because we are bringing him down to our level. And I'm remembering a very nice story. One time, a small boy, he asked his mother. Generally, when the temples are built, especially in India, so temples are on a higher platform. You have to climb a lot of stairs. You see, you go to any temple, you have to climb stairs. Here we are merciful. So, if you don't have, you can just walk in straight. Only one step, I think, right? But generally in India, the traditional temples have a lot of steps. So the boy asked mother, why in every temple, why there are steps like this? Why we have to climb so many steps to go to Lord? And she gave a wonderful answer. She said, because to make us understand that if you want to approach Krishna or Lord, you have to raise your level. You don't have to bring the Lord to your level. So if you try to bring the Lord to your level, then you can never understand him. You have to raise your level. That is why there are steps. So don't try to impose the material laws, material understanding. Many times people criticize Krishna. If you read about the pastime, 16,108 wives, it was not that Krishna was running behind all the girls. Okay, I want to get married, I want to get married. 16,100 princesses were captured by Narakasur. Krishna released them. And then Krishna told each of them, please go back to your kingdom. I will send my army to see to it that you safely reach your place, your parents' house, and then you go there. All of them refused. They said, we have been here for more than a year, or maybe more than that time. We have been here for a long time. Now once we go back, who is going to marry us? So Krishna said, so? So they said, so? Krishna said, what? He said, you marry us. Just imagine, he saved them, thinking that, okay, Hare Krishna, not Hare Krishna, whatever he was. Hare Krishna, we say, not Krishna. So he wanted to tell them, okay, tata, bye-bye, whatever. But they said, no, we are not going. And they said, if you send us like this, our parents will not be happy, we will not be happy, and throughout the life we will be suffering. And then Krishna said, okay, go to Dwarka. I'll marry all of you. So to save their honor, he married them. Not that he was running behind them. They told, and Krishna said, okay. And how he married? Before they reached Dwarka, 16,100 palaces were ready for them. And Krishna married all of them at one time, in one Muhurat. Don't think that 16,100 means he was running around from one pandal to another pandal. Okay, come on, Panditji, this is over. Okay, next Panditji, do fatafat. No. He expanded. So 16,100 marriages all at a time. 834. All marriages at that time. Okay, I have a question. Krishna expanded. But in marriages in India, you need parents also. Right? So the princesses were different. They had different parents, but Krishna had only one set of parents, right? So then were they running to every pandal? Oh, we want to see that marriage also. Come on, run there, run there. Even if each marriage took half an hour, 16,100, how many months to finish marriages? Even they expanded. Krishna's parents also expanded. So this is Krishna. So if you can do that, no problem. Get married, 16,108 marriages. So don't bring Krishna to your material laws and without understanding his position. So Shukadeva Goswami tells that Krishna is Nirguna and you also can become Nirguna. Krishna is Nirguna because he is absolute truth. If you understand that truth, you also become Nirguna. Means you also go beyond material qualities. And you achieve the spiritual body. Sat Chit Ananda. Eternal, full of knowledge and full of happiness. That is our position. We are here in this world, which is Achit, Asat, Achit, Nirananda. There is no happiness, there is no eternal thing, everything gets finished, and knowledge definitely not there, covered completely. So then Shukadeva Goswami said, Lord is in everyone's heart. And he says, how do you know that Lord is in everyone's heart? By devotion. So you are saying that as wood, when you look at the wood, you know what fire is there in that. If you look at a person, how do you know he's a devotee or he's not a devotee, or he's a good person or a bad person? What determines a person is a demigod or he's a demon? It is devotion. If you are devotee, then you come in the category of demigods. If you are not a devotee, then you come in the category of demons. In spite of all your material education. I'm sorry to say that. So then Shukadeva Goswami, when he spoke all this, and Prabhupada writes very interesting thing in the purport. Prabhupada says, by external features, you can't understand who is favored or who's not favored by Krishna. Then how do you understand? According to the attitude of the person, Krishna becomes one's direct advisor or Krishna becomes unknown. Prabhupada writes this. So attitude. Prabhupada says very important in bhakti. Actually in Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada writes that the progress in bhakti, progress of the follower depends on the attitude of the follower. Progress in bhakti depends on attitude of the follower. So we need to develop that attitude of bhakti. One of the definitions of bhakti is attitude of gratitude towards God is called bhakti. Then we need to be grateful to God every time. Who's a devotee? Who's grateful to God? When he is happy, he is grateful. When he is in miserable condition, he is grateful. Brahmaji says, Tatte nukampam susamikshamano bhunjane kritam vipakam ridvagvapurabhi vidhan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadaibha. Brahmaji says, a person who always thanks the Lord in every condition, Tatte nukampam, Lord, this is your mercy. Wonderful thing, we should learn this. Can we come in this position? Anything happens in our life, Lord, this is your mercy. Tattanukampa. Tatte nukampam susamikshamano bhunjane vatmakritam vipakam hridavagavapurabhi vidadhan namaste. Jivetayo mukti pade sadaiva. For him, liberation becomes his right. No one can take away liberation, Brahmaji says. Mukti pade sadaibhag. Daibhag means that's his right now. Why? Because every time he's just thanking the Lord. He's in that consciousness. Okay, God, as you want. Krishna, as you want. You want me to be happy? Thank you. You want me to be miserable? Thank you. I always quote that famous pastime with Srila Prabhupada when somebody was making Rajbhog for the Lord. And while making Rajbhog, the finger got cut. He came running to Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, I was making Rajbhog for the Lord, not for me. Right? I was making Rajbhog for the Lord. How is it that my finger got cut? Prabhupada said, as per your karma, your head was to be chopped off. But because you are serving the Lord, only the finger has got. Be thankful to the Lord. That's a devotee, right? Who thanks Krishna in every condition. And then Shukadeva Goswami says, the same question was asked by Yudhishthira to Narad Muni. And what he answered, I'm going to tell you. So then he says, what happened is, Rajasuya Yagya was going on. And in the end, they wanted to do the first worship called Agra Puja, the first person to be worshipped. Sahadev said, Krishna should be worshipped. So Krishna was worshipped and Shishupal was sitting quiet till that time. As soon as the worship was over, Shishupal got up and started left and right speaking against Krishna. He said, all your yagya is spoiled. How dare you do first worship to this person? Who is he? He's not even a Kshatriya. He's not this, that. He kept on. And then as he started blaspheming and criticizing Krishna, Bhim was there and he could not tolerate. So Bhim got up. He said, I'm going to kill him. Bhishma was sitting next to Bhim and he held him, sit down. Where are you going? He said, I'm going to kill him. How dare he speak against Krishna? He said, look at Krishna. So they looked at Krishna. Krishna was smiling. He said, he's smiling means something is going to come. Just sit down. Krishna was smiling. So then they were just waiting. And what was Krishna doing? He was counting. Because he had promised Shishupal's mother that I will tolerate or I will forgive 99 or up to 100 maximum offenses at a time. But beyond that, I cannot. So Shishupal's mother had instructed Shishupal, you do whatever you want, blaspheme Krishna left and right, but count and stop at 99. So, so Shishupal used to do that every time. But this time, he was just going on and he came. Krishna was counting 96, smiling, 97, 98, 99. Krishna said, Shishupal, it's 99. Shishupal, to hell with 99. And that, what could Krishna do? So then Krishna killed him right in front of everyone. But everyone saw that the soul came out of the body of Shishupal and entered Krishna. And this was astonishing for Yudhishthir. And Yudhishthir couldn't take it. He said, he asked Narad Muni, this Shishupal was extremely envious person. He was criticizing Krishna. And we have heard that earlier Vena was also very envious person, but he was killed by Brahmanas. He could not achieve Krishna. But here what we are seeing, this Shishupal, when he was not even able to speak, from that time he is criticizing Krishna. Just imagine what powerful envy he is. That he was not able to speak. He was speaking in broken language. In Hindi they call it totally boli, right? So broken language. And in that also he was criticizing Krishna. So Yudhishthira says, how did he get liberation? Impossible. He said, what we are seeing, that he is not suffering from leprosy, because if anyone criticizing Krishna, he should suffer from leprosy. He is not suffering from leprosy. And he is not going to hell also. He is liberated. What is this going on? Please explain. So he asked from Narad Muni. And Prabhupada in that purport writes an important thing, that why is Yudhishthira asking Narad Muni? There were so many others. So he said, because Yudhishthira is setting a standard that if you really want to inquire the higher truths, you should inquire a bona fide person in Parampara. So, very important for all of us to take knowledge through bona fide source. Nowadays, because of internet and other things, we have lot of information at our hand. Just click and you get Google Guru, right? So anything, Google. But before the person finishes the question, you have the answer, right? I remember one time I was taking a quiz for the children, and I asked them what was the age of Bhishma Dev when he left his body. So children were saying something, and then they couldn't answer. Then I asked, okay, parents, you have chance. Would you like to say? And one person, he gave correct answer. I said, wow, how do you know? The other person said, Google Guru. So nowadays we have so much of information, so many books, so many people speaking about spirituality, quote unquote spirituality. If we really want to progress in Krishna consciousness, be chaste to Srila Prabhupada. Show your chastity to Parampara, to Srila Prabhupada. Stick to the books. Hear from them. Learn from them. Because it is not important to learn from a famous person. It is important to learn from an authorized person. There may be people who have, nowadays, what do you have? Instagram and Twitter and, no, Twitter is not what, is there? Okay. YouTube, and I only know these three, but I know there are many more. So you get a person who has millions of followers and oh wow, we want to hear. Recently somebody told me one very interesting thing. They were hearing a particular person from Vrindavan, he speaks very nicely. So they told me, Prabhuji, what is the problem? He speaks, whatever Prabhupada is speaking, he speaks the same as Prabhupada. So why we should not hear him? Then I asked him, if he's speaking same as Prabhupada, then you hear Prabhupada. then why? It's a simple thing, no? If he's speaking same, then you hear Prabhupada. That is better. So nowadays we have this, because of internet and other lot of things we get. But chastity to Parampara is very important. So be with, here, authorize, yes, all other things just will be distracting you so much. So just walk on one path. Don't get confused. In this world, I'll say religion, the word religion confuses a lot to people. Because there's so many people talking about religion. They're not authorized. One time in India, the Supreme Court judge made a comment about Radha and Krishna. And there was so much problem. So one of our sannyasis was asked, Sir, Maharaj, what do you have to say about it? And he said, what authority the Supreme Court judge has to speak on Radha and Krishna? They have the authority to speak on constitution, on the laws of the country. Yes, we accept. They are the authority. But what authority they have to speak on Radha and Krishna? If you want to hear about Radha and Krishna, come to Srila Prabhupada. He is the authority to speak on Radha and Krishna. The bona fide acharyas are the authority. Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, they are the authorities. So that is why this is very important. Stick to parampara. If you want to progress, if you want to get confused, lot of Babajis and Ammas and go on, no problem. So then Narad Muni started speaking. And Narad said, because he asked the same thing, that how is it that the envious person got liberation? Narad said, Krishna doesn't have duality in him. This duality, the material world is a world of duality, right? Loss and victory, or gaining something or losing something. This duality are only in this world. That's why Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, you have to rise above these dualities. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agamaha paino nityastam stitikshasva bharata. Krishna is saying, you have to learn to tolerate what? Sukh and dukh. When I first read, I was thinking, if Krishna says that you have to tolerate miseries, is understandable. But he's saying sukh and dukh, both you tolerate. What is the meaning of tolerating happiness? Who tolerates happiness, right? So what is the meaning? What is Krishna saying? Tolerate sukh and dukh. That means don't get carried away by the happiness. Tolerate it. Don't get carried away. And don't become too morose or miserable in miseries. So tolerate both the things. For a person who has become a devotee of the Lord, real devotee, dedicated devotee, the praises and the happiness he has to tolerate because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like someone praising him, but he tolerates it, right? So, we should learn. So he said duality is due to ignorance, where we say I and mine. Krishna is beyond I and mine. You know, for many, many lifetimes, what have we earned? Bhaktivinoda Thakur puts it very nice in a bhajan. He says, Aham mama abhiman ei matra dhan baddha jiva nija bali jane mane man. That for many, many lifetimes you have earned lot of money. And what is the money? What dhan you have earned? Aham mama abhiman. That ego, I and mine. That's all you have earned. Right? I have quoted this incident many times. That there was a famous person, Kanak Das. The other day I was quoting in your house, I was saying. Kanak Das. So he was asked by his guru, pointing out to one of the sannyasi disciple of his guru, look at him. Kanak Das, will he go back home, back to Godhead? Kanak Das said no. Okay, will he go the other one? He said no. Third one, all sannyasis. Will he go? He said no. Then Guru pointed to him, will I go back? Kanak Das said, I don't know. So people thought, so arrogant person. He's telling sannyasis that they won't go back home, back to Godhead. He's telling his guru that I don't know. So then Guru asked, okay, Kanak Das, will you go? He said, if I go, I'll go. So people thought, such an arrogant person, right? To others he's saying they won't go, and to him he said, if I go, I'll go. But Guru knew that Kanak Das is a highly elevated devotee. He said, Kanak Das, please explain. And Kanak Das said, if I, that ego in me, I go, I'll go. So we should always remember, the day people are praising you, You're feeling very happy, I have done something. Please remember, if I go, I'll go, otherwise you'll stay here. So don't worship I. We are not here to worship ego, we are here to worship Krishna. So always remember, if I go, I'll go. Okay? So what is that I? Aham mama abhiman ei matradhan. Everything revolves around I and mine. That's all. Unless that goes, you are not going. Be here. Jeena yahan, marna yahan, iske siva. Thank you. So then he says Krishna is beyond I and mine. And anyone remembering Krishna, even if he becomes an enemy, through enmity, through lust, through envy, through devotion, any way, you have to just remember Krishna. And he gives very nice examples. Gopya kamad bhayat kanso dvesha chedadayo nripaha sambandhat vrishnaya yu snehat yuyam bhaktyam vayam vibho. He says, look at gopis. They could get Krishna by love. And look at Kansa. He got Krishna because of fear. Kansa was very fearful of Krishna. From the time he had heard that somebody, Krishna, has taken birth to kill you, he was always fearful. And when he came to know that Krishna Balram, so whenever he used to see two soldiers coming to him, he used to shout, Krishna Balram has come, Krishna Balram has come. He was so fearful. So he says, Gopya kamad bhayat kanso. Kansa got Krishna just by fear. And Shishupal, etc. got because of envy. They were so envious of him. And Vrishnis got because of the relation, Sambandhat. And you, Pandavas, you got Krishna because of Sneha, affection. And people like us, Narada is saying, we get Krishna by bhakti. So if you can be envious like Shishupal, you will get Krishna. Yes, because he was so envious that envy made him Krishna conscious 24 hours. Because he was always thinking of Krishna. I'm going to defeat him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to... Always Krishna. Kansa was fearful of Krishna, so he became Krishna conscious 24 hours. So if you can be fearful of Krishna of that level, you can achieve Krishna. Or you become envious like Shishupal. Like when you were not even able to speak, start giving bad words to Krishna or whatever. So we cannot be, that doesn't mean, Prabhupada explains, that doesn't mean that we should think, okay, we have to become envious, we have to become this. It means that if by envy, by fear, by relation, by affection, somebody can get Krishna, then what to talk of devotion? So we should stick to devotion. So then he says this, and then he gives a story in a gist that Shishupal and Dantavakra, they were actually Jai and Vijay in the spiritual world. They were doorkeepers. They were cursed by 4 Kumaras, and then they had to take 3 lifetimes. They were falling down, and then they were given, okay, 3 lifetimes you have to take. So in first life they became Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And then he briefly said that he tortured his son Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu. And then, Narad Muni wanted to increase the desire of Yudhishthira to hear. So he just put 1 or 2 things in it. Okay. And then he said, and then they became Ravan and Kumbhakarna. They were killed by Ram. And then in this life they have become closer, they have become relatives of Krishna, Shishupal and Dantavakra. And they are killed by Krishna. And that's all. He stopped. Now Yudhishthira said, I want to hear more. I said, what is this? It's like, telling everything and no. And then he said, how is it that Hiranyakashipu became so powerful? And why was he envious to his own son? And then you just said that Prahlad was a very great devotee. How is it possible the son of such a big demon, Hiranyakashipu, he became a devotee of the Lord? So please tell me. So then, you see, this is like Narad Muni, or even Shukdev Goswami, many places does this. In the end of the 9th canto, Shukdev Goswami in few verses told entire Krishna Leela. Few verses. And Parikshit Maharaj was saying, what? He said, what's going on? Just few verses and you said, okay, Krishna did this is. I want to hear in detail. Actually, as long as we have this envy in our heart, we cannot appreciate Krishna Leela. Nivrit tarshe rupagiyamana bhavaushadha shrotra manobhirama kauttama shloka gunanuvada puman virajyet vina pashugna. Nivrit tarshe rupagiyamana. Those who have given up the attraction of this world, which is just like mirage, just like illusion. Nivritta tarsha rupagiyamana. They take Krishna Katha as aushadhi, bhavaushadhi shrotra manobhirama. So if you really want to appreciate the pastimes of Krishna, you should give up envy from your heart. And if you think that, yes, I'm going to keep this envy, then you can never understand Krishna. So now the story is starting, Hiranyakashipu, and what happened to Prahlad. If you want to hear, you'll have to come tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.